G'day my YouTube friends, I hope wherever you are you're happy, you're safe, you're keeping well. This is another episode of my Carocash Collects, and I want to thank everyone who has been watching along and enjoying this Australia's History of Currency series. Everyone seems to be enjoying them all, and people are commenting their own memories on these notes, which is amazing because for me it's nice knowing that there's some old notes out there in people's collections that are being passed down through their families. So today I'm going to continue on and I'm going to show you the old $1 and $2 banknotes. So let's get into it. If this is your first episode watching and you're unsure, the changeover from pounds to dollars occurred in 1966, and all of those banknotes were initially released as paper notes. If you watch Aussie cash stuffers like myself, you will see us emptying out our wallets and our change, and you will see us use these $1 and $2 coins. But these denominations weren't always coins. When we went from pounds to dollars in 66, they originally had banknotes for $1 and $2. So first up is the $1 banknote. So this note replaced the old 10 shilling note in pre-decimal currency. The front side of the note features Queen Elizabeth II wearing the garter robes, as well as showing the Australian coat of arms. Now we have Queen Elizabeth on our $5 note, but if you remember from the $5 episode, the first paper $5 note featured Sir Joseph Banks on the front. And with this $1 note being changed to a coin, they swapped out and moved Queen Elizabeth onto the new polymer $5 note instead. And as you can see, it's kind of like a browny goldy colour. So the reverse side of the note features Aboriginal contemporary art. The artwork depicts the mortuary feast, which is one of the artist's creation's ancestors. Also includes a selection of rock art, as you can see, and for example the group of the four figures in the top corner is taken from artwork found in the Injalak Mountain, which is located in West Arnhem Land in the Northern Territory. The $1 note was replaced by the current gold-coloured coin in May of 1984. Due to the longer service life and cost-effectiveness of coins, these notes can be redeemed at face value by the RBA and most commercial banks, but banknote collectors like myself will pay higher prices for these depending on age, condition. When these notes were in use, approximately 1.7 billion $1 notes were printed, so there's loads out there. Most of these notes do not fetch high prices, but some, for example, if they're uncirculated, have unique serial numbers, or if there is an asterisk here next to the serial number, that indicates that it's a replacement note. So it was damaged when it was printed, so they had to replace the note, and it indicates with an asterisk. Now those can fetch thousands of dollars, but the average price you'll get for just a standard note is probably a couple more dollars than what it's worth, just for sentimental value. Alright, now I'm going to show you the $2 banknote. So this note replaced the old £1 banknote in the pre-decimal currency. The front side of the note features John MacArthur, who came to Australia on the Second Fleet with his family as a British Army officer. Now MacArthur is recognised as a highly influential figure in the early British colonisation of New South Wales. MacArthur was a pioneer in the Australian merino wool industry, and you can see the merino sheep also depicted on the note to represent that. And as you can see, the colour is green. Now this green to me looks very similar to our $100 green, but as you remember from the $100 episode, the original release of the $100 note actually came years later, and it also was white in color originally. And once the $2 note was removed from circulation, that's when the green was implemented on the $100 note in the polymer series. So there's a little bit of a fun fact with the colors if you're wondering why. The reverse features William Farrer, who was a leading plant breeder. His work resulted in significant improvements in both quality of crop yields in Australia's national wheat harvest, a contribution of which he earned the title Father of the Australian Wheat Industry. As you can see in the illustrations, the wheat is shown on the note to portray his contribution. Yeah, I love the note. I love the color. It does really remind me of the newer $100 banknote. That's the Next Generation series. So go check out that episode if you're not sure what I'm talking about. So the $2 note was replaced by the $2 coin in 1988, and like the $1 note, most will fetch a couple of dollars more to a collector, but I personally think they're just a great piece of history to hang on to and pass down to your grandkids. And lastly, I just want to indicate and show again the differences that I have been telling you about in the last few episodes, the Australia versus the Commonwealth of Australia. So all that means is that these two notes were printed first. They were printed for a few years first with the words Commonwealth of Australia, and then they just changed to Australia. But bear in mind, there's been millions printed of each, so one is not more valuable than the other. The only difference is, you know, when you see Commonwealth of Australia, that means it's one of the originals. It's one of the older print runs, whereas the Australia only is of a later print run. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed looking at our old $1 and $2 notes. As a cash stuffer, I do wish we still had the $1 and $2 notes, but I understand why they removed them and swapped out with coins. It's cheaper, it's easier to produce. But yeah, I do really hope you enjoy watching the series and me showing you our decimal banknotes. In the next episode, I am going to show you some of our pre-decimal currency that I own. So until then, please give the video a like, take care, and I'll see you in our next video. Bye.